Hi there. So today's thoughts from my walk, we're going to continue on the theme of how to create focus and motivation and look at how we can reduce our attention on the things that are distracting us. So especially at this time, a lot of the things that are distracting are quite concerning as well. And if we're trying to get down to a work task or any other task for that matter, sometimes those things can start to feel unimportant in the context of a world that's dealing with a very serious situation. So there's an exercise I wanted to share with you that looks at how you can refocus. So when we get distracted, it's because our attention is on something else, even in our subconscious. And when we put our attention onto something else, we are ruminating on that thing and we amplify its importance. If you think about, when you wake up kind of early in the morning, or kind of, late in the morning, early, 2, 3 o'clock sometimes, and you start thinking about something and it suddenly seems really big and really insurmountable. And when you wake up, you go, oh, that wasn't such a big deal. It's that kind of rumination and amplification. So to help you focus, think about the only thing that you have any control over in this crazy world. What is that? Now, many people struggle to answer that question because it's not something we ever consider. We fool ourselves into thinking that we have control over much more than we actually do. Whereas in reality, the only thing in the world that you have any control over is yourself and your actions and how you show up in certain situations. And even that's hard sometimes. So when we lose the plot with somebody because they've really irritated us, or you suddenly realise you've eaten a whole bag of mini eggs when you'd only intended to eat 2 or 3. So even controlling ourselves is hard. So this exercise, if you have a piece of paper in front of you and draw 3 concentric circles, so a bit like a bullseye, and in the middle you write your name or write the word me. That is you. That is all you actually have control over. In the second circle of the bullseye, you write things you can influence and control. Now, often when we use language like, oh, I need to get him to do such and such, or I need to get them to think X, Y, Z, even in that language, that suggests that you have power in getting them to do such and such or think X, Y, Z. You don't. What you do is you choose how you show up to influence an outcome that you're working towards. So for yourself, if you're trying to generate focus and motivation, it's thinking about what can you influence in that moment and what actions and steps can you take towards the thing that you're working on. Break it down into little steps. And then coming back to the 3 circles, on the outside circle are things that you have no influence over and therefore no control anyway. So that outer circle are things you literally can do nothing about. So if you're finding yourself distracted when you're trying to focus on something, think about taking that circle, those 3 circles, and just writing down the things that are distracting you and where they fall on those circles and what actions you can take to focus in on the thing you are trying to achieve. And doing that might only give you 15 or 20 minutes of focus, but that will be enough for you to do something towards what it is you're trying to achieve. And breaking things down into small parts, as we talked about in the last exercise, or the last little video, is a really good thing to do. So that's it for today's little tip, and I will be back with you soon. See you next time.